Hello again and welcome back to Football Spy on this Tuesday morning in association with our very good friends at Renault Vans. And after all the politics surrounding England yesterday, it was a welcome relief to see the resurgence of Spain, Chile proving too hot for Switzerland and Portugal providing the performance of the tournament so far. The Football Spy team were at that game yesterday. We'll give you our verdict a bit later. But first, as always, the transfers. Now, John Terry may be in a bad mood after being made to apologise publicly to Fabio Capello. And there's more bad news from at club level as Manchester City are understood to have beaten Chelsea to 24-year-old Spain and Valencia forward David Silva. He's going to cost around £29 million. Now, as you all know, I like new names here on Spy, and here's one for you. Arsenal are keeping an eye on the Lokomotiv Moscow left-back Renat Yanbayev, with a string of European clubs showing their interest in Gunners defender Gael Clichy. That's in the London Daily Mail. Our friends at imscouting.com tell us that the out-of-contract Arsenal defender Mikel Silvestre is very close to agreeing terms with the United Arab Emirates side Al Jazeera Abu Dubai. They're offering him an annual salary of £4 million. Goal.com say that Birmingham have rekindled their interest in the Liverpool winger Ryan Babel. Yaya Torres proposed £27 million move to Manchester City from Barcelona's all but done. That's in our own Daily Mirror. Also in our own paper, the outgoing Barcelona president, Joan Laporta, last night claiming that Arsenal will, in his words, give in and sell Cesc Fabregas. I'm sure Arsene Wenger's going to have something to say about that. SkySports.com tell us that the French club Lorient have been fighting to keep hold of their highly promising defender Laurent Koscielny, but the 24-year-old wants to go to Arsenal, and the club are understood to have accepted that they will indeed have to let him go. Now here's a fascinating one for many of you because no less than Liverpool are heading the chase for the Brazilian midfielder Gilberto, who's been doing very well for his country out here at the World Cup. Blackburn, Everton and Fulham all interested as well. And back to the Mirror because the Fulham striker Bobby Zamora, much improved last season, wants to sign a new contract at Craven Cottage, and he's set to turn away interest from Birmingham. And just finally, Lazio say that they want the West Ham right-back Valon Barami. He was sent off for Switzerland yesterday. Now, just to update you on some of the tournament dramas, all eyes are going to be on the game between France and South Africa tonight, where it's understood that some of the French players are going to refuse to play as their protest against Nicolas Anelka being sent home continues. For me, the French Federation should just put Raymond Domenech out of his misery and end the whole farce, but they're stuck with him, and I think the players may indeed well make their own point tonight. As for England, well, it does appear that John Terry was left out on a limb by his teammates who bottled out of backing him up following his challenge to Fabio Capello on Sunday. I still think he was right to say what he did, but Capello has been quoted today, very widespread, as saying that Terry has made a big mistake. I'm sure we'll find out what it means in due course. Now, our man John Cross in Johannesburg has managed to establish that when Rooney's asked Capello to play up front on his own, makes sense to me as he does his best work on his own these days. And just finally on England, Sir Alex Ferguson has been in touch with his star striker to give him a word of encouragement, but the Man United boss has also been saying that he doesn't think all has been well with Rooney for some time. Elsewhere, Ghana midfielder Solly Montari has been disciplined for insulting his teammates and coach after Saturday's World Cup match against Australia. We understand here at Spy that the Inter Milan midfielder used some language that we obviously can't use on this show towards the Serbian coach Milovan Rajovic. Now, Rajovic apparently wanted to send Montari home, but we hear that he was persuaded not to by four players rather, and the team captain Stefan Appiah. From what we understand, Montari, he won the treble, you remember, under Jose Mourinho at Inter Milan. He's upset at not being able to get into the Ghana team. Now, apologies to all of you struggling to find us on YouTube. We've had a few technical problems that we're trying to sort out, and I'm sure our friends at YouTube, who've been excellent hosts for us, will be able to work on that for us. Now, I've been looking around at some of your tips for the World Cup, and not all of you, or not many of you I should say, have tipped Portugal. Now, to be fair, I didn't either, but they were absolutely sensational against North Korea yesterday. We were there in the driving rain, but it was well worth it at the Greenpoint Stadium. And all of those clubs in England having a long look at the Portugal midfielder Miguel Veloso. We know that Everton like him a great deal. They might just find that he's a bit more expensive after this World Cup. Now, time for your messages, and remember you can get in touch on spy@mirror.co.uk or on the Mirror Football website, mirrorfootball.co.uk. And already lots of you have been in touch. You want to talk about England. Ben in New Jersey thinks England should play with Rooney and Defoe up front against Slovenia tomorrow night. Earl has emailed in from Queensland in Australia, who says here, I wish Australia had some of the players available to England. We know what Capello's men can do. Now it's time for them to do it. Felix from right here in Cape Town has been on. He says Capello is pulling in the big bucks. He's just got to show us now that he's more than just the hype. Lots of you asking what my formation would be. I mentioned it the other day. I'd play 4-3-3 against Slovenia with Barry in front of the back four, Lampard and Gerrard in front of him, Cole and Milner on the wings, Joe Cole of course, and Wayne Rooney up front on his own. And just one more for you. Paul in Finland's been emailing in. He agrees with me that Wayne Rooney should indeed play up front on his own. Now, just before we leave you, one rumour doing the Ryans here in Cape Town is that the Cameroon coach, Paul Le Guen, could be in line for a new job. We told you yesterday that he insisted he would not be stepping down with the Lions, at the first country out of the World Cup. But the word here is that Australia want him, with their coach Pim Verbeek about to step down after the tournament. Now, Football Spy, in association with our very good friends at Renault, is back tomorrow with a full preview of England's must-win game against Slovenia. I'm sure you're going to join us for that. In the meantime, I'll see you next time.